The World Series is set, and it truly is a World Series as it's the USA up against Canada in a sport besides hockey. Not surprising is that the majority of MLB fans would like to see the Blue Jays win. The Dodgers are such an evil empire in MLB that they have Americans rooting for Canada. Oh, Canada. Chaos continues to cause catastrophe in the college football ranks, and oh yeah, it's gonna be May. This is number 177 of HN'P. Recorded in central Pennsylvania in front of a live studio audience with your host Ian DiCarlo, this is Hoagies and Pierogis. Okay, it is Tuesday, so the NBA is tipping off tonight, so we should get our first sports equinox of the year soon, as long as baseball lines up right. I also just realized for the first time ever that the verb changes when you say that football is kicking off and that basketball is tipping off. Is hockey facing off? The NHL is facing off tonight. No, that's not right. Kicking off, like actually kicking off in the NBA would be funny to punt it down the court to the other team for no reason, but it would be even funnier to see a tip-off in football. Not everyone has an athletic 6'4" guy that can jump 3 feet in the air. There's a lot of 6'6" and 6'7" linemen, but none of them would be able to jump. But what if neither team has tall skill players? You could potentially see a 5'11" wide receiver go up against a 6'8" lineman in that case. Don't tell me Jordan Mailata wouldn't love that. And we'll stick on basketball for just a second because I just saw that the NCAA is allowing individuals who played in the NBA G League to participate in college basketball. That's like letting UFL players play college football. It doesn't make any sense. These are professional athletes. March Madness is going to be even worse this year.
The NCAA's got to regroup. They got to regroup. That's my opinion. Only my opinion, so don't be mad at anybody else, be mad at us. But I'm not going to be mad at the players, I'm going to be mad at the adults in the room. And so don't blame the players anymore, blame the adults that make the decisions, that allow some of these ridiculous things to happen. And then the unintended consequences hurt kids that are trying to do it the right way.
Baseball championship series, let's wrap these up. We left off at Game 3. On both of these series. Let's start with the Mariners and Blue Jays. And, all right, there were the Blue Jays. George Kirby got blown up in the third inning. But since they were down 2-0, they decided to just let him stay out there and save the bulk of the bullpen. Springer was 3 for 6 with a home run in the fourth, and then Vlad Jr. was 4 for 4 with a home run in the fifth, and that's when Kirby was taken out of the game. And the Blue Jays won 14-3. And in Game 4, Blue Jays all the way back? What? They won Game 4 after jumping out to another early lead, and they didn't allow a single hit to the Mariners' top 4 batters. They won 8-2 behind a solid start from Scherzer, and another Vlad Jr. home run in this game. He was on fire. And in Game 5, it was coming down to the wire for the Mariners until Cal Raleigh hit a home run in the 8th inning to tie the game at 2. And then Eugenio Suarez came up with a huge grand slam later in that inning. And the Mariners were 1 win away from going to the World Series for the first time in franchise history with a 6-2 win. But on Sunday, Toronto said not so fast and forced a Game 7, flipping the score from Game 5 and winning 6-2 themselves. Can the Blue Jays break Toronto's streak of Game 7 curses, Game 7 losses? Well, Vlad showed up in a Maple Leafs jersey to try and prove that curse wrong. To put that Maple Leafs jersey into context a little bit, since the Leafs last won the Cup, Vlad Jr. was born, the Blue Jays won back-to-back World Series, the Blue Jays were founded, and Vlad Sr. was born. All in the time since the Maple Leafs last won the Stanley Cup. So that's kind of why everyone's rooting for the Blue Jays a little bit more. Even if it weren't against the Dodgers, it would still be a really good story. He was trying to reverse the jinx, and it worked. Holy shit. George Springer came in with a huge 3-run homer off Bizzardo to go up 4-3, and the Rogers Center was going crazy. It was like right off the bat, you knew it was a home run. So the crowd, right when it flipped to them, was jumping up and down in elation. Oh my God, it was a huge home run. He blasted that thing. But I don't really think that Bizzardo was a bad choice over Munoz at that point. If Mariners fans want to blame anyone, where was the offense when they needed it most? The top 4 in the lineup went 0 for 13 in Game 4. 3 for 14 in Game 5, 2 for 15 in Game 6, and 5 for 15 in Game 7, which is respectable. But that is 10 for 57 overall, good for a 175 batting average. Your top 4 hitters from Game 4 to Game 7 Game 4 to Game 6 did nothing. Don't blame it on Bizzardo, who got you there after his insane performance against the Tigers in Game 5. I mean, did no one stay up to watch that? It was more impressive than anything I've ever seen Munoz do. But enough about the Mariners. You have to feel so good for Vlad Jr. So much emotion, and he looked like a weight was lifted off his shoulders when he went down to his knees at the first baseline. From trade talks this offseason to signing that huge $500 million contract that even I thought was too much at the time, to now going to the World Series. It must be one of the best feelings in the world to get a shot at the championship. Like, just getting there has to be almost on par with winning the whole thing. Obviously, winning the whole thing feels better, but just getting there has to be very, very close. The Blue Jays will move on to the World Series on Friday. The World Series starts on Friday. And, well, in Game 3 of the Dodgers-Brewers series, the Dodgers payroll... just extreme baseball talent and dominance and scouting acumen is showing, and they beat the Brewers 3-1 to move the series to 3-0. It was inevitable at this point. And that was a sweep with one of the best postseason performances ever from none other than Shohei Ohtani. He went 6.1 innings pitched, allowed only 2 hits and 3 walks and 10 strikeouts, and added 3 home runs to that. That is absolutely unreal. He is the GOAT. So, yeah, that was an extremely easy sweep. And on the opposite end of the spectrum from Vlad Jr., who was breaking down on the field, bawling his eyes out with emotion, you had Blake Snell on Instagram looking for players to join his NBA 2K online team. Like I said, the World Series will start on Friday, and I really hope it's a competitive series. Like I said, most of the country... basically no one outside of LA is rooting for the Dodgers. Everyone is rooting for the Blue Jays to win this thing. Let's go Blue Jays. All right, college football. Let's start on the some coaching news. Well, no Cignetti for Penn State. It was a long shot to begin with, but he just signed an 8-year, $11.6 million per year contract with Indiana that keeps him there through 2033 when he'll be 72. That's old, as we've seen from Bill Belichick, and that's kind of when you start losing it. But yeah, Franklin came on college game day on Saturday morning, in an absolute shocker. I cannot believe he did this 6 days after he was fired. And he said, and just how I was shocked that he was on college game day, he said that he was shocked that he was fired on Sunday, because they have Sunday practice, and before practice he was pulled aside by Pat Kraft and was said that, hey, like, you're dismissed, you're out of here, goodbye, good luck. And Saban was on there. He was like, man, it was so unfair to you. I don't know how they could have done that to you. Penn State made a huge mistake. No, that was not unfair, Saban. Coming into, I've said it a million times, an all-in year, and you lose 3 straight games, 1 in overtime, admittedly, double overtime to Oregon, who was still pretty good. But then to lose to UCLA and then Northwestern right after that, oh, man. And they just lost to Iowa this weekend, so it's not getting any better for Penn State. Not at all. It was not unfair in the slightest. More coaching news. Billy Napier was fired. Napier, I don't know how to say it. I'm just going to say Napier was fired from Florida. Talks have been going on for that for a while now. But everyone keeps saying that Lane Kiffin is going to be headed there, and I just don't see that happening. I mean, he has a good thing going at Ole Miss. Yeah, they just lost to Georgia, but I don't think that's going to sway his decision at all. They should have won the game, to be honest with you. They just shut off in the fourth quarter. And another Florida coach was not fired yet, but probably should be. Florida State is reeling. Mike Norvell, I think he has like a $56 million buyout, so it would be even more than Franklin. So they're probably not willing to take that on the chin. But what the hell is wrong with Florida State? They are 0-4 in ACC conference play right now, I think. 0-4, 0-3 or something like that. And they're like 1-9 in their past 10 conference games. That's horrible. I really don't know why they just don't get rid of them. Just cut their loss now. Honestly, that's probably the Florida State's trajectory right now is probably a little bit more disappointing than Penn State's. After that huge win against Alabama week 1, I mean, Penn State didn't have any big wins, and they were, kind of doing bad against those teams to start out the game. But for Florida State to fall this far is terrible for them. I don't know what they need to get rid of Mike Norvell, first off. And then we're going to get into the games here, but I don't know if this has to do with the opening at Penn State. But it's so much for not being distracted by it. What the hell is that, Matt Rule? Nebraska was upset by Minnesota on Friday night, 24-6. They scored 6 points against Minnesota. But that was not the biggest upset that happened on Friday night. Louisville came down to Miami. Oh my God, no way. I had a sneaking suspicion last week that it might be a good game. And it was. Miami lost 24-21 to Louisville. And Carson Beck threw 4 interceptions and blamed the last one on his tight end. That was an ugly, ugly game for Miami. And I really thought that they would just run the ACC and be totally fine. But no, they could not pull it off. Ooh, it was just overall. You can't throw 4 interceptions and win a game. I mean, is a 6th-year senior? Is he? Beck, you should know better. Okay, the rest of the games, Ohio State took care of business. Indiana took care of business. Texas A&M won 45-42, almost lost to Arkansas. Arkansas is probably the best 2-5 team, I think. They're 0-3 in SEC play, but all of their games have been, I'm pretty sure, 1-score games. Ole Miss lost to Georgia 35-43. And like I said, Ole Miss just shut off in the fourth quarter. They scored no points, and Georgia shut them out, and Georgia scored 17 in the fourth. Alabama just took care of Tennessee, and I got to give it to Bama. They are a lot better than I thought, especially after that Florida State blunder. Dude, without that Florida State loss, they would probably be the number 1 team in the country right now, over Ohio State. We had a big upset here, but going into the game, it was a little bit sketchy because Texas Tech was without their starting quarterback, and Arizona State got Sam Leavitt back, and he threw for 319 yards and a touchdown. And Arizona State won 26-22, upset Texas Tech. Oregon crushed Rutgers. Vanderbilt beat LSU. Hell yeah. You love to see Brian Kelly lose. They just could not stop Javi on the ground, who had 86 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Georgia Tech beat Duke 27-18. And this is so weird. This is the second game this year where Duke has been the favorite at home against a ranked opponent. And just got, not crushed. Georgia Tech didn't crush Duke. They put up 17 on them in the fourth quarter. It was 27-18 final score. They got crushed by Illinois, too, at home. Always bet against Duke if they're the favorite against a ranked opponent at home. It doesn't make any sense as to why they were. I don't get it at all. Notre Dame took care of USC 34-24. That fucked up my parlay on the night. That would have been huge. I think that would have been a $1,000 one. Oklahoma won 26-7 over South Carolina. I guess South Carolina just sucks. BYU beat Utah in an exciting game, 24-21. Mizzou beat Auburn. Virginia won. South Florida won. Texas won again, but in a very close game in overtime against Kentucky, 16-13. Ugh. And UAB won. It was Chris Mortensen's son making his head coaching debut against Memphis, and they upset Memphis 31-24. I'm pretty sure they were like over a 20-point underdog. It was a very good win for them, and then Cincinnati just crushed Oklahoma State 49-17, I believe. So for the rankings, this week is insane. Every single position in the top 25 changed except for Ohio State. Indiana moved up 1, Texas A&M moved up 1 because Miami lost. Alabama up 2 because Ole Miss lost. And then Georgia did not jump Alabama. So Alabama is number 4, Georgia 5, Oregon 6, Georgia Tech 7, up 5. Oh, damn. That is very high for Georgia Tech. They are. I think Miami would beat Georgia Tech right now. I really do. But okay, they're undefeated. They're 7-0. I guess they deserve it right now. Almost 8. Miami down to 9 from number 2. Vanderbilt all the way up to number 10. They just took LSU's place. BYU up 4 to number 11. Okay, Notre Dame at 12. If they win out, they're going to sneak into the playoffs. I know that's unreal, but it's going to happen. Oklahoma 13. Texas Tech down 7 spots to number 14. Virginia up 2. Tennessee down 6 to 17. Louisville ranked after that. Good, they should be. LSU down 10 after losing to Vanderbilt. And then Cincinnati, not surprisingly, jumped Texas there. God, a Cincinnati-Texas game might be really good. Oh, and then an unranked team that won again. This is 3 wins in a row for UCLA. UCLA keeps winning and PSU keeps losing. UCLA is going up against the number 2 team in the country this weekend and should get demolished for an easy win on the bigger school's part. Deja vu? I don't think they'll actually pull it off against Indiana. But what's $10? Georgia Tech might be on upset alert against Syracuse. Again, what's $10? Ole Miss going up against Oklahoma. Okay, ranked on ranked matchup. That's going to be good. Alabama, South Carolina should have been good. Alabama's going to just mop the floor. Oh, my God. Missouri, Vanderbilt. Oh, okay. Hell yes. Another Mizzou game that I'm going to be watching on Saturday. That's going to be nice. And then another ranked on ranked matchup. We got Texas A&M at LSU down in Death Valley. Again, it should be a good game. I hope I can stay up. Actually, no, I haven't been watching a lot of college football because Ghost of Yote is not crashing my PlayStation anymore, and it's kind of all that I'm doing on the weekend. I don't bring it with me here to the hotel. I do not want to take my PS5 with me on the road. But it is amazing. It is not quite Red Dead Redemption levels of like in-depth, but there's so much to do, like that it has so many random encounters, and it has so much the boss fights are so hard. It looks beautiful. I'm in the snow region right now. I'm just gushing over it, and it's all that I can do. So I do apologize that these are pretty shallow the past couple weeks because I have been gaming the fuck out of Ghost of Yote. I love it. I absolutely love it. But yeah, week 9 of college football already. Oh my God, it's going by way too fast. It's already almost the end of October. Jesus Christ. But yeah, we're already on to week 9, which means we are already moving on to week 8 of the NFL. But before we get there, we got to go over week 7. And on Thursday night, the Icy Hot Bowl did not disappoint. Rodgers threw for 249 yards and 4 touchdowns with 2 interceptions that were both DK Metcalf's fault. And Flacco threw for 342 yards and 3 touchdowns. 161 of Flacco's yards went to Jamar Chase, who also had a Bengals record 16 catches in the game. The Bengals won 33-31, but Rodgers did his job for me, and Josh Allen's place got 25 points in fantasy, which is more than Allen has done the past 2 weeks. Do I have a quarterback controversy in fantasy? Oh, God. All right, 4 morning games, 4 weeks in a row. Unfortunately, this is going to be the end of the streak for a little bit. I think we have... Actually, no. Are the Spain games in November? I think they're in November. So, yeah, we got a little bit of time before the next morning game. But it was the Rams at the Jaguars. Stafford had 182 passing yards and 5 touchdowns. 3 of them to Devontae Adams, who only had 35 receiving yards. Is that the lowest amount of yards for a quarterback with 5 touchdowns and a wide receiver with 3 touchdowns? Nope. Turns out that Stafford had the 5th least yards, and Adams was all the way down at the 9th least yards for a wide receiver. Jameis Winston actually holds the record at 148 yards and 5 touchdowns in 2021, and Mac Alston had 22 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns in 1975. Those were all 3 of his catches. Kelsey actually had 4 touchdowns on 25 yards, which is crazy back in 2022. That's even more impressive because he did that on 7 catches with that little amount of yardage. But yeah, Brian Thomas Jr. sucked it up in this game. So many balls hit his hands, and he either dropped it because he was about to get hit or he just didn't hold on at all. It was infuriating. Now he's dealing with a shoulder injury, but they have a bye next week. Get better, BTJ, and catch the goddamn ball in 2 more weeks. The Rams killed the Jags 35-7. Patriots at Titans. What can I say? It's gonna be May. God damn it, Drake May. You're so good. You're so good. 21 for 23. A new single game completion percentage record for more than 20 passes in a game. He broke Brady's record. 221 yards and 2 beautiful touchdown passes. One to Hooper in the corner of the end zone, and 1 rainbow 39-yard touchdown to Booty. Oh my God, May, you are so goddamn good. Holy shit. So I'm going to start going over these stats. Drake May is the first player in NFL history to record 4,000 pass yards and 500 rushing yards with at least a 69% completion percentage in the first 20 games of their career. Let's go. Through 7 weeks, he is number 1 in completion percentage, total yards number 3, number 6 in total touchdowns, number 2 in first downs, number 2 in yards per average, number 4 in QBR, number 5 in big time throws, number 1 in completion percentage over expected. He's just been unconscious out there. He is just clear-minded. It's so unbelievable that he's doing this in year 2. 20 games in. I just have no words for it. It is beautiful to watch Drake May play. And watching Patriots football is a joy again. My Sundays have become so much better. And I'm getting chills talking about this. Drake May is the savior that we've all needed. And 5 o'clock Shadow May might be best Drake May. I'm telling you what. I've never seen him with any facial hair. And he comes in with a 5 o'clock shadow. I was like, whoa, where did that come from? I didn't know he could do that. But yeah, the Patriots won 31-13. And I mean, they could have gone up by way more. They could have scored at least 2 more touchdowns. They let off the gas completely in the fourth quarter. And Dobbs actually came in for the last 2 drives. I am just in awe of what Drake May is doing. And there was a little scare with him going down a little bit hard. There was a concussion scare. So, he's just got to watch that. If he's good on that, he'll be totally fine. But that's just kind of his play style. It's going to happen. He's going to get tackled sometimes. Not taking as many hits as Jaden Daniels, but we'll get into that. Oh, and a fun fact, Drake May is younger than Cam Ward. All right, let's move on to the Dolphins at the Browns. Yeah, McDaniels is cooked. He didn't even say a single word to Ewers after he came off the field from his first drive. He seems so disinterested in being there, but the Dolphins said they were going to stick with him. We'll see how long that lasts. The Dolphins got their Brown pushed in by the shit. Sorry, they got their shit pushed in by the Browns. It works both ways. 31-6. And damn, there were some lopsided ass beatings in the early window. For the Raiders at the Chiefs, Rashee Rice is back for the Chiefs in a big way. The whole team was heating up, but now they look unstoppable and might be ready to go up against the Pats in the AFC Championship game. Oh, holy shit. I would love it if they matched up and May wins, doing what Lamar and Allen can't do, which is beat Mahomes in the playoffs. If both teams win out, the Patriots will get home field advantage. But wait. I'm going off into fantasy land. The Chiefs shut out the Raiders 31-0. In what was supposed to be another lopsided ass beating, the Giants at the Broncos. What did I just watch? That was the dumbest comeback that I've ever seen. The Broncos were down 26-8 with 5:19 left in the game and somehow pulled it out even when they went down again 32-30 with 37 seconds left on a Jackson Dart rushing touchdown. They couldn't do shit all day, and just like in the Eagles game, scored all of their points in the fourth quarter. They are easily the worst 5-2 team right now. Eagles-Vikings. The Vikings try to make a comeback, but this isn't the Browns' Carson Wentz. Hurts finally got things going in the passing game with 326 yards and 3 touchdowns in the air, and the Eagles won 28-22. Saquon, still nothing. The Bears beat the Saints 26-14. Nothing really happened there except for DeAndre Swift went off, and of course, the person I was playing against in fantasy had him. God, it was an awful week. I lost 187-127. Even with Gibbs having the game that he did, I still lost by 60 points. And then the last game in the 1 o'clock window, the Panthers at the Jets. That was an ugly game. Why can't Hubbard and Dowdle coexist? It doesn't make any sense to me. The Panthers won, I guess, 13-6, and Justin Fields is ass. He got benched for Tyrod Taylor, and I think this might be a shot at keeping the starting role. But we've been saying that for years since that doctor punctured his lung on the Chargers. But actually on Wednesday, Tyrod Taylor cannot catch a fucking break. He has a knee injury. I guess it happened in practice. I have no idea. We found that out on Wednesday. And speaking of the Chargers, Justin Herbert had 420 yards and 3 TDs. So the Chargers won, right? Wrong. The Colts are, dare say, the best team in the league right now, and Jonathan Taylor is rolling. The Colts steamrolled the Chargers, which is why Herbert had to pass so much, 38-24. Moving on to the Cowboys and Commanders. The Cowboys are one of the highest scoring offenses in the league, and they're kind of a scary team, honestly. They won 44-22, and Jaden Daniels got hurt, and everyone was comparing him to RG3. Rightfully so, because he's taken the most hits by far of any quarterback since he's entered the league. His annoying ass mom took to Twitter to say, "I wish you would stop manifesting RG3 on my son. Words are powerful and that's all that's talked about. Her pussy is getting hit more than her son is. Shut up, Ms. Jackson." The tweet makes it vaguely sound like she's telling people to stop forcing RG3 on her son, which was not the intended message. But to read it like that makes it even funnier than it already is. The replies to that tweet are gold. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh, but I am for real. Never meant to make your baby cry, but he is hurt almost all the time. And then this one, we can say whatever we want about your boyfriend. Just shortened to the point. All right, the Packers came back against the Cardinals. They won 27-23. Falcons lost to the 49ers 20-10. A Mac attack. Mac Jones, baby, let's go. Mac Jones keeps winning, and Brock Purdy keeps sitting. Then we had a Monday night doubleheader. Like I said, Gibbs went off in this game. 136 yards and 2 touchdowns on 17 carries with 3 catches for 82 yards tacked on. That's the second most yards from scrimmage for a Lion since Calvin Johnson's 300-yard game. Unfortunately, it didn't matter for my fantasy team, even though he scored 36 points. Oh well, I still feel good for him. And that celebration that he had, that was awesome. The Spider-Man Superman celly. Oh, that was sick. The picture is awesome, but when you saw the video of Gibbs just like kneeling down, then Amon-Ra went flying over him from out of frame, and you just saw him for a little bit. You didn't even see what he was doing. That was hilarious. Oh, and rip to Mike Evans' streak of 1,000-yard seasons. He broke his collarbone in the game against the Lions, and he only has 140 yards so far. And he's not, I mean, it's week 6. No, sorry. Jesus. It's week 7, so there's no way he's going to be coming back this year. Sorry, Mike Evans. That was the most impressive streak that I've been able to see in my life from like a historical standpoint. That is a huge feat, like 12 straight seasons of 1,000 yards. Or 11? Is it 11? Is it 11 or 12? I'm not sure. Whatever. Impressive no matter what. And then the game that no one on the East Coast could watch because it started at 10 o'clock was the Seahawks at Texans. But I don't think anyone missed much except for JSN went off again for 8 receptions, 123 yards and a touchdown. And the Seahawks won 27-19 against the Texans. So next week the Lions are off. So unfortunately I am royally screwed without Gibbs in fantasy. But hey, the Patriots are playing the Browns at home. So please contain Myles Garrett and you will win. Vikings-Chargers is the Thursday night game. Dolphins-Falcons. Jets-Bengals. Giants-Eagles. Oh, we get a Giants-Eagles rematch this soon? Damn, nice. Okay. Bills against the Panthers. Bills, you better fucking blow out the Panthers. I swear to God. Bears-Ravens. Bears are going to... they should beat the Ravens. Who knows? Lamar Jackson is still not back at practice. 49ers should beat the Texans. Buccaneers should beat the Saints. Cowboys-Broncos might be a pretty good game. Titans-Colts. And then Packers-Steelers on Sunday night. Interesting. Oh, this is the game where we're getting the all-yellow Steelers new alternates. I don't know how I feel about them. I didn't really like the Chargers all-yellow alternates this weekend, so this might be even worse. This might be worse than the Bumblebee uniforms. I'm serious. And then Commanders-Chiefs to round it out on Monday night. Should be an easy win for the Chiefs, especially if Daniels is out. And Jaden Daniels is out on Monday night against the Chiefs. He's becoming more and more like RG3 every day. And this was extremely random and doesn't really make any sense to me at all. The Pro Bowl was moved from Sunday to Tuesday of that same week, right before the Super Bowl. Why? Moved 2 days closer for no reason. So now you want more people to watch the Pro Bowl? Oh, I have an idea. Let's move it to a fucking Tuesday night. What the hell is that? Nobody is going to watch this in the middle of the week. Well, actually, now that I think about it, more people might watch it because people were probably doing something on the weekend rather than just having a random Tuesday with, probably nothing else on. What else is on? The Pro Bowl. So maybe people will only be tuned into the Pro Bowl on Tuesday night. And this is very sad, very, very sad news. RIP to Doug Martin, a.k.a. the Muscle Hamster. He was 36 years old. That's just absolutely sad to hear. Apparently, he suffered greatly from mental health issues, and he left the house and broke into his neighbor's house and died in police custody, so no one really knows what happened yet. There's an investigation ongoing. No one wants to assume the worst in that case, but yeah, that really sucks. Really, really sucks. Rest in peace, Muscle Hamster, Doug Martin. Alrighty, everybody, that's it. Make sure to leave a like and comment on each video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hoagies and Pierogis is available on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Instagram for clips throughout the week and updates when needed. And we'll leave you with this. Thank you very much. Much. Recorded in central Pennsylvania in front of a live studio audience with your host, Ian DiCarlo. This is Hoagies and Pierogis.